Just looking at Vanderbilt's lineup, you anticipate Eric going back in the starting lineup?
Yeah. You know, the last game, it was a very difficult game for our foremen, which are Eric and Reggie primarily, to match up with a guard. I mean, like when you're talking about, you know, Hudson's a kid that, plays the 3 and the 2 for him in, years past. And just a very difficult matchup. And I wanted to get up to a good start defensively in that game because that's something that we really have been focused on in terms of being better defensively. And I thought it really helped him. And then when they subbed for him, then they were bringing in more foreman type guys in Stone and in Johnson. And Johnson played great. Johnson hit 3 threes in that game and really gave him a lift and started the second half instead of Hudson. And, did a lot of good things for Florida.
Okay, Mary Catherine's got the microphone. We'll get it to Logan.
With Vandy's size, do you anticipate making any more changes to the starting lineup this week to match
No.
up?
But they do have, Vanderbilt has very good size. You see they're long, very long, like they're 2-guard. Neesmith's like 6'7". He had a great game against South Carolina. I mean, honestly, the turning point in their game against South Carolina comes down to a technical foul on him with 1:38 to go on, a celebration of a block shot. Because that turned into a 5-point play, which was a critical, turning point in the game. I mean, they had the game and played really well against a very good South Carolina team.
Obviously, you've mentioned this. You mentioned against Florida how much important it was to get that first win, and with the stretch you got coming up with a lot of road games, how much confidence have you seen in your guys in practice just getting that?
Yeah, we just had the one practice, but we had a good practice today. We had a long day. We did shooting. We practiced hard, and we lifted, and we watched film for an hour. We used our whole 4 hours yesterday. And I thought the film session was really good because there were some things we were getting hurt on that we'll continue to see in terms of some things defensively that we isolated to try to really focus in on. And I think we made a positive step in that direction yesterday by focusing on it. So the film session I thought was helpful as well. And that's an hour of, going back and forth and looking at each play and trying to point out details, the little details that are difference, between being good and being great. And really, that's to be in this league, you better be playing great at a high level to have a chance night in and night out against everybody.
Vandy, of course, 0-4 in the conference and things, but is it one of those situations where that record doesn't really indicate the team that they are?
They've been up in every single game they've been in, and they've had leads in all those games. They've been incredibly tight. They had Kentucky down 16-4 to start that game. I mean, they had Kentucky down in the second half at Rupp Arena. The Ole Miss game in their game was a really tight game till late in the game. And look at this last game. They really had a great. They got to be saying, we should have won that game. Their last home game against South Carolina. And like a lot of teams, they're really good at home and shoot the ball better at home. Just they have a great home court advantage. And so we know we're going to have to play very well tomorrow, and they've got a very talented group. Neesmith had a career high in their last game, and Shaitu, the big kid, is really a tough matchup because he's a guy that's second on the team in assists, handles the ball really well, makes plays for others. He's getting 14 and 9 a game as a true freshman, and his long block shots. I mean, he's a tough matchup, and really, a guy who's an incredible athlete for being as long as he is in terms of his ability to move and drive and create shots for others as well as himself. I mean, they shoot it well. Ryan hit 2 big threes late in that game, and he's taken over 6 threes attempted per game. He's a very good transfer from the Notre Dame that can really shoot the ball. Toy has always played some good games against us. I think he had 18 there last year, and he's played 4 before, and he'll end up playing 2 at times now. in their lineup, and he starts at the 3. So, you know, they're huge when you think about their lineup at 6'3", 6'7", 6'8", you know, 6'8", and then, you know, 6'11".
You know, with this stretch of road games coming up, do you talk to the team about that? How much does it help just having a veteran team, you know, as you go through the stretch?
Yeah, you know, I'm pretty much, Logan, a one game I'm not looking at, you know, hey, we've got, you know, 4 of our next 5 on the road. I'm looking, we got the next one on the road. You know, it's just one game at a time, and we're not thinking past anything other than what is in the present. That's what we have to focus on, you know, and try to get even here and get to 2-2.
Obviously, looking ahead in the future, how has Prince done in practice so far? And how has Prince done in practice?
Prince, good question. You know, Prince, you know, this time of year it's hard. He doesn't get a lot of run in practice because he's not playing any of the games, and we're doing a lot of 5-on-5 stuff. At, you know, this point of the year, there's not, you know, earlier in the season when we're playing 4-on-4. But what he's done an incredible job with his body. You know, he came in here, and I thought he was heavy, and he shed like 23 pounds. I mean, he's like a solid block of muscle. And Coach Williams commented to me last week watching him about a week ago, and also Andrew Junkin. But wow, those guys are good. You know, I haven't really seen them that much because we don't use them a lot. We were using them to play a zone. And so they got a chance to play some 5-on-5 and be out there and pressing back to zone. And, you know, he was like, wow, those guys are going to be good. I'm really excited about these guys. So that, you know, and he obviously knows the game, so you can ask him a little bit about him if you want some more info. But I like Prince in that he's got a great motor, really wants it, lives in the gym. You know, he wants to be in there shooting all the time and working on his game. And he's a really good kid. And, you know, he went home and had to get his passport changed because he's from Canada at Christmas time. And he went home. He actually came back 3 pounds lighter, which was really exciting. A lot of kids will go home and, you know, they're going to put on 7, 8 pounds eating mom's home-cooked meals. And he did just the opposite. He was working out and really stayed focused and did exactly what Coach Crane, our strength coach, asked him to do.
You playing 4?
Yeah, he's a 4-man. And he can even, you know, play some 5 deep offensively. I mean, he's 7'1" across, you know, 6'7", 248 pounds. He runs well. I mean, he's pretty fast, and he's got a big body. You know, he's one of those bodies that.
So he came in almost at 270.
271, I believe. Yeah, big boy. Yeah.
This is kind of looking back a little bit, but it's more of a general, just I guess your thoughts on it situation. The end of the game against Florida, 3-point game, didn't foul. You let them go down and take the shot.
We told them to foul. They called the timeout, and we were supposed to foul.
Okay, I guess that was my question. Is that in those situations? Are you generally one that would look to foul in that situation?
In that situation, 3.6 seconds to go. They brought it up. He got to the midcourt line. Fortunately for us, we didn't foul him on the shot because we were supposed to foul him right about half court and didn't. And sometimes, like last year, we told Q to do it against South Carolina at home, and he thought he did it, and he didn't, and he hit a 3 to tie the game at the buzzer. Gravett did. But in this situation, it was Nick, and he didn't foul him, but so he stayed right with him. And then when he released the shot would not have counted. It was released after the red light went off, so that was good.